I'm coming to you today from Minnesota. I am here at Save a Fox Rescue Facility. We're going to build an incredible ecosystem pond for her facility as well as all of her animals. I know it's going to be crazy, it's going to be hectic, it's going to be chaotic, but it's going to be incredible. And by the end of today, we will have a running waterfall.
I'm so thankful for everyone involved. It's amazing. Leave it alone. She's all over it. She's all over it.
All right, so here we are, Michaela.
Hi.
It's been a couple months since we talked, I guess,
yeah.
when we started talking about doing a water feature out here. This is an unbelievable facility. Could you give us a little bit of a tour and kind of tell us your story about how all this started?
Welcome, this is Save a Fox Rescue. So we're starting up in Malachi and Skeeter's yard.
So what was this property before? I mean, this general
It was
farm
a chicken and turkey farm.
Oh, wow.
And it was a deer farm at one point,
Oh my
too.
God.
So a lot of these setups were kind of already here, which
Yeah.
were perfect. As soon as I had my eyes on this property and I saw like the buildings with the enclosures attached, I was like, I need that. She's one of our fur farm rescues.
Wow, beautiful.
Hey, want treats? So in captivity, they can live up to 15 years, and in the wild, it's only like 3 to 5. Archer and Duchess were rescued together, so they're kind of a bonded pair. And foxes actually mate for life for the most part. They're inseparable.
So a fox in nature, what would their range be? How far would they travel?
For the red fox species, I've been told that it's up to like 50 miles,
Wow.
a 50-mile radius.
How many enclosures do you have?
We have 5 fox yards.
Okay.
We're always playing a game of like who can get along the best.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They have been raised in captivity for over 50 generations. Foxes,
50 generations.
Yeah, a lot of these foxes here, like their color variations, those
Yeah.
colors don't exist in the wild.
Okay. So Michaela, tell me a little bit about your background. How'd you get into saving foxes and what was your background before all this?
So I found an orphan gray fox species when I was 15, and I bottle raised it and I fell in love with it. I knew from that point that I wanted to have a fox in my life at some point. I was in college for vet tech. I knew I was going to work with animals. I ended up adopting a fox while in college. The fox is a lot of work. I dropped out of college, ended up in the rescue world. I really didn't know there was a need for fox rescues.
Yeah.
And at the time I started Save a Fox, I was the only specifically fox rescue in America that I could
Oh my gosh.
find anyways.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exotic pet industry is
Sure.
huge. It's a lot bigger than people realize. That a lot of people buy animals without, having experience beforehand, and then they end up in a situation where they need to go to a sanctuary. And these pet foxes, they can't ever be released to the wild because they weren't wild to begin with.
How do you fund all of this? So you're a non-for-profit?
Social media, and the way
Okay.
I started Save a Fox, it was never my plan. I would post my fox on social media because I was just like, I loved him and he's my pet. That's how people started following me, and then recognizing kind of I have this passion with these animals.
Where can people donate for your cause?
SaveAFox.org, that's our website. So all of our donation links are on there, and have YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. We're everywhere. And Patreon. We're trying to keep up. So this is the first fox yard we ever built, and this is our biggest one. So you'll notice that some of them are in cages and some of them aren't, and that's because we have like rotation, so all of the foxes get an opportunity to come out and play in the fox yard. Archie, this is a blind Arctic fox. So Pan has yard time today with Felix. So when we get new foxes that come to us, we put them in enclosures and we work like one-on-one with them, because before we can let them into the fox yard, we have to train them, because they all have to go back in their enclosures at night, and like learning that humans are nice and give food.
Holy cow, he's way up there. Oh my gosh.
Foxes do not do that. So the red fox species are not known for climbing trees, but he has taught all the foxes in this yard that they can climb trees.
Unbelievable.
Hi, Schizo. So this is the fox and cat yard that's like a mixture of both foxes and cats together, because these are the foxes that came from like pet home situations where they grew up with cats. He's actually my smartest fox here. He knows a bunch of tricks.
Gosh, he can run right up, isn't he?
5, spin, sit. You want to do your little jump trick? Jump. Good boy.
Michaela, this piece over here, could we use this in waterfall construction at all?
For sure. It was given to us for enrichment for the foxes, actually.
I think we could use it underneath the berm where we're going to be our waterfall. We can do some stonework around it. We can create a really cool cave environment for them, or tunnel, I guess. All right.
Mouse has actually been undergoing stem cell therapy.
Oh my gosh.
And she's the first fox from the research that we've made that has ever been documented. She has very weak genes. She has a hard time absorbing the nutrients that she needs to absorb. Oh, this is Kipper. This is our youngest fox right now. So he's not a mini, he's just a baby. Foxes are born in the spring and they're full grown by winter.
So after walking around your property, it sounds like this might be the best spot for us to do the water feature?
Yeah.
So as soon as we pulled up, this one I was kind of gravitated towards, because obviously it's kind of front and center. You have guests coming in for a tour and things like that, so it'll be highly visible.
Yep.
But the other thing was, I love this little slope here, and then we have this nice backdrop of the trees. We want to accentuate this mound a little bit. We would be digging the pond a little bit further down this way where it's kind of flatter, generating more soil, building that up. And we found that pipe that you have over in one of the other areas, build that into it as well, so they have kind of a little tunnel going through. I would like to have like a beach entry for our visitors. We're not going to have big boulders sticking up.
Yeah.
They'll kind of look right in, but it will be also perfect for your animals because they could walk in very shallow water. They could make their way down into deeper water if they want to. We'll kind of embed some big boulders in there. These could be seat rocks for yourself, for your visitors, as well as for the animals themselves. I'm kind of thinking to kind of create something and mimic a little bit of a natural, like a riparian habitat, which is where foxes normally would go hunting for food, an opportunistic feeder, you know, just some really thick, fast moving water, little riffle zones, maybe a little pooling area in between. All of that will connect up into the main pond itself.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I mean,
Awesome.
What you said about the shallow them so they can, like, you know, integrate themselves into the water, that's exactly what they like to do. So
perfect.
That'd be perfect.
And I also see you actually have a little kiddie pool over here.
Yeah.
So
this is what they have now.
So I think we could do a little better. I think we can come up with something a little bit more unique. And because it's an intelligent animal, we want to stimulate that brain activity.
Yes.
You know, have them climbing around, searching and hunting. It's those natural instincts that we really want to take advantage of and let them be foxes.
Yeah, and enrichment is something we really strive for here too. That's why we give all the foxes so much space to be able to, you know, run around and play and dig. I'm really excited about this.
Awesome. I'm going to go. I kind of have an idea here. I'll get a couple pictures. Tomorrow we're going to arrive with all of our guys and construction's going to start.
Cool.
All right.
Yay.
So I love doing just quick sketches of a job site because it helps you kind of conceptualize everything in your head, but also by getting it on paper initially. I mean, this is my initial gut reaction. Things will probably change a little bit once we start building, and that's because we're working with natural stone and natural materials. We want to kind of blend everything in place. I start out up on top up here where our biofalls is located. So here's that big existing tree. I want to kind of highlight that. We're going to tuck our biofalls in. We're going to probably bury it kind of low. We're just looking for kind of a little meandering type of a stream. So biofalls is going to cascade down a series of little pockets and pools into the main pond itself. The foxes, they're not necessarily a swimming animal. It's not like a river otter. It's not like a mink. They are found in riparian corridors. So they are found in areas where you're going to have where the water meets the land. So we definitely want to think about that. So I want to have a shallow area, like a beach type of an entry where they could kind of walk into that shallow water going down into the deeper zones. We might have a deep pocket over here where the waterfall is located, but this I'm thinking is going to be pretty shallow. You know, So starting out at 0, maybe going down to only 8 inches or so deep. I think our entire depth might only be 18 inches deep. I want to bring in some of the beautiful boulders that Nick picked out for us for this beautiful wall over here. We found a really cool piece of piping. I want to take a piece of that and I'm going to bury it inside of our berm. So that's going to be right over in here. We're going to have a little bit of an access point going into this tunnel, and then it will kind of pop out on the back side of the waterfall. So all this is going to cascade itself down. We're going to have our plumbing going around the outside edge. We'll have a skimmer inside, and that's because we want to kind of minimize their maintenance. I don't want them to mess with a pump down in the bottom of a pond. I want them to be able to have the pump located inside of a skimmer. That's going to also help us to capture leaf debris. I also noticed in some of the small kiddie pools and things that are around the property, they're going to have an abundance of hair in them as well. So we want to have a place for that to go to. So I love building for facilities like the Save a Fox Rescue because they pour so much of their time and energy and passion and resources and money into these facilities just to kind of protect these incredible animals. So this is a way that we can give back a little bit. We're going to do something that's incredible. We want to create environments that mimic nature. Awesome! It's going to be incredible! Michaela has graciously opened up her facility here for us to do a really cool project. We love giving back. She's got an incredible organization. Her passion for her animals and everything is unbelievable. She has an incredible reach out there through social media channels. So we want to try to help her with her mission, as well as spread the whole kind of concept of the importance of water, not only for animals, but for human interaction as well. Okay, all right, thanks. So we have an incredible group of certified aquascape contractors. We got Jeff, we have Nick, we have a team from Urban Landworks, and we also have another Jeff with Rock Waterscape. Now we are ready to start painting.
Yep. What's so funny? Are you excited? Yes.
Excavation's complete. We're getting our fabric in place. This is the geotextile material. It's going to help spread the weight out on the bottom a little bit. It's going to help protect the liner. We also have a second layer of this material that's going to go on top of the liner. So our next step, we got our skimmer mounted in place. We're working on the overflow. The rubber liner is going to come in place, and remember that rubber liner is a critical piece. That's going to give us the right foundation that's going to hold all the water in place for this fox enclosure. On top of that, we're going to come in with another layer of the heavy duty fabric to help protect everything. These animals, they are normally found around aquatic ecosystems. They're also a burrowing animal, so they're going to want to dig around a little bit. So I want to help protect that liner. Adam's already bringing in some of those big boulders. We're going to start strapping up some of those big character boulders, and then we'll start working our way through all the smaller stuff and focus on the pond first. We'll work our way up towards the waterfall.
So what we got going on here is a cobble beach. It's gonna transition from a gravel edge so the fox, the critters can come on down here, and this is gonna get locked into place with little tiny gravel, so it's just gonna look like a natural rock slide that came right out of the glacier up here. So the critters can come in, get their paws wet, get a little drink. Ed, are they gonna be fishing?
I'm hoping.
It's gonna look really sweet, and we're framing it with 2 big rocks. That's gonna help just lock in that edge, and it's gonna be an awesome transition coming from land to water. Pretty excited about it. about it.
All right, so Ed had a rock for the waterfall rock, but it was sitting so high that we weren't going to be able to get the water to go down underneath it. Right now, the guys are digging out a spot and making a hole for that rock to sit just how they want to. That's what's so fun about this liner and this media to be able to work with. So you can just fold it back like this and get that rock to sit exactly how you want by working the soil behind that liner. So that's what's awesome. The guys go the extra mile, and even though it takes a little bit of time, that's what a piece of artwork is.
We just reached a great milestone here on the project. We washed down all the rock and gravel. We're filling it up with water. Now we're starting to do some of the detail work. We're going to start trimming up the edges of the liner. We also just found this beautiful piece of wood right here on the outside edge of the property. It's going to be a really cool place because I could just picture those foxes walking across the top of the water, going back and forth, looking down, peering inside, looking for all those little fish and stuff like that. Again, the whole idea with this project was to have an enrichment. We want to create an environment where the foxes are going to be inquisitive. We want them to search, we want them to look, we want them to act like what they normally would in nature. So these little pieces like this, the logs, the big boulders, the little beach entry, all these things are going to make all the difference in the world. We're also going to add an ion gen because I want to make sure the water's pristine. We're trying to eliminate her maintenance here. Before, what she was doing, she had these little kiddie pools and stuff like that set up. They would grow algae, they would build up stuff inside of it. So the recirculating system that we've created here is going to eliminate all of that. And that's what it all comes down to. If you're doing the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, the Omaha Zoo, whatever it is, taking care of the animals is a huge commitment. So we want to eliminate some of that stress for, make this look good, make it functional, as well as beautiful. All right, so Michaela, this is the biological filter. This is going to create the proper water quality for your animals. Detoxify the water. So this is kind of like a septic system. It uses bacteria, microorganisms to break down all the waste from leaf debris, fish waste, anything that lives inside of here. It's going to kind of break all that stuff down. The way this is also designed, you see how these holes kind of come in at a little bit of an angle? It's what's called the swirl chamber. So the fast moving water comes in, it swirls around in there, and like sediments and stuff like that will filter out on the bottom. Then this rack goes in here. That keeps the filter pads away from the sediment. And then these guys go right on top. So this is just a really high surface area material. This will become a living colony of stuff. We have a dosing system that they're installing right now. It's going to dribble in microorganisms into the pond, which is going to detoxify the water. They're going to live inside of this. This needs to be cleaned out once a year. You're going to pull these things out, hose them off really well, put them back in. These are called bio balls. This is, again, a different type of material. More surface areas, fast moving water comes in, sediments build up on the bottom, the water flows up through all the different medias.
Cool.
Have you ever had a fish tank?
I've had turtle tank, snapping turtle tank.
There you go.
So,
Snapping turtles are pretty messy actually.
Yeah,
so same stuff, same biological filter. The dirtier the water is, the microorganisms living in here eat and breathe just like us. So the dissolved oxygen in the pond actually drops. So we want to replenish the dissolved oxygen, which is why we have a waterfall on the outfall. So that creates turbulence, increases the dissolved oxygen, and then it returns the entire cycle. So the whole thing, the Aquascape ecosystem, has several components. We have the skimmer, the biofalls, the rock, the gravel, the rubber liner, all these different little pieces and parts that work together. And that's what gives us the look that we're going for.
Cool.
Ed talked to you a little bit about some of the enhancements you can have in these ponds. We sank a 4x4 post here. This is going to allow us to mount our ion gen. This is a proprietary blend of metals that is a straight up debris killer. So this is like the silver bullet to string algae. We also have our automatic dosing system. This is like an IV pouch that you would get in the hospital. It's a slow drip, consistent dosage into the pond. And then to top it all off, we got our faux driftwood log stump cover here that's going to go right over this. You got to cover this because of the fox. We want to make sure they don't get into the wires and hurt themselves. So we got some galvanized mesh right down in here so they can't burrow from underneath it. And then we're going to have this sit firmly right on top of these posts, and we're gonna do our best to make sure we keep them from digging in.
We're going to talk about sealing up the waterfall. So right now we have all of these rocks, right? The water is going to funnel between these two big ones. It's going to go over this one. The rubber liner is back here. You see all this river stone?
Yeah.
So if we were to turn the pump on right now, all the water would just disappear through all the river rock and go directly into the pond. It would bypass this big rock. We want to seal it with waterfall foam. So this is a polyurethane foam. It expands. So what it does, you just kind of, you just got to put a bed of it down over all of this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this fabric, and you're going to stick it on top of it. Don't get it on your hands. Yes. It will not come off. Yes.
Oh gosh.
I always forget to mention that little part.
Looks like it would be fun to touch.
Do it. It's not that bad. It'll come off.
How do you like it?
It's fun. Oh, that feels so cool.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
I can't wait to get in this. I'm curious to see what they'll do if they see me go in it first, and if I just sit in there. They might come in if I'm in it. I've seen them swim when they've seen dogs that they like. If they like get along with dogs and they see a dog go in the water, then they're really interested. Like, oh, like that canine went in, like maybe I'll go in too.
We're doing the finishing touches on the Fox tunnel right now. So as you can see, we buried it in the back of the berm. So we had a slight elevation change. This way we were able to kind of just nestle it in, completely make it disappear. The part that I'm concerned with is the front, because I really want it to look natural. So we're gonna really take our time, dropping a few more big rocks around it, cut the pipe, so it kind of makes a little rocky outcropping to just create like a really naturalistic den. So this is the mechanical skimmer. There's a pump located down in the bottom. I always put them in, but there are a lot of people that put pumps like down in the bottom of the pond. The problem with that is if you have animals and stuff, they could actually get down to the motor. So we put it outside of the pond, nothing can get to it. And what it does is the water's pumping through it, going up to your waterfall, and it's creating this suction on the surface. Actually, there's little leaves already that are already coming inside of here. So all the debris from all of this is gonna get sucked inside, and then you lift this out, and you're gonna clean this out periodically.
Easy peasy.
It is. Then when
Super
to
easy.
put it back in place. So you could also, you see this little door right here? You can close that, and you could actually inspect everything to see if there's actually junk inside of there.
Cool. I'm really
Just a
glad
little
I'm recording this.
I know,
'cause it
so you
helps.
could remember.
Yes.
Are you ready? You're gonna plug it in over there.
Okay.
Great job, everybody. Oh.
So cool. I'm like speechless.
what do you think? How's everything working so far? The first night.
Amazing. So
Awesome.
I didn't let the foxes out until this morning because I wanted to be able to, of course, see them actually enjoy it and explore it. And I'm not the type of person that wakes up early, but I woke up early this morning and I was so excited. She was excited. She immediately was running around, jumping over the rocks.
Oh my
It's just,
gosh.
we're happy.
Well,
We're all happy.
And that's what it's all about, creating an environment for your incredible animals as well as you and your facility. I mean, this is why we do what we do. I mean, we just love it, and I love seeing that natural instinct of the animals coming out. And I'm, you know, watching her kind of climbing on the log and searching and looking for stuff. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, I couldn't be happier with it, so I'm glad you are as well,
Yes.
because I'm totally excited. All the contractors that came in yesterday, everybody just had an incredible time.
I'm so thankful for everyone involved, so
Yeah, well,
it's amazing. Leave it alone. She's
No,
all
it's
over
awesome.
it. She's
I
all
love
over it.
I love it.
We are constantly kind of
Okay.
shifting foxes around because foxes are coming and going and getting adopted, and
Yep.
so there's going to be lots of foxes that are going to
Very cool.
end up enjoying this pond.
Yeah, and I'm sure your mind is racing with all different ideas of what you could do in and around it. I mean, one of them was you're excited about getting in the water as well, just
Yes.
summertime, cooling off. And that's really what even what a recreation pond is. You know, designing and building an ecosystem like this, it's good for people, for animals, for pets, for wildlife.
Just-
watch.
She's just hopping all
I know, I can't keep my eyes off of her. She's just hopping around, just playing. And it's, you know, for an intelligent animal like them, it's going to allow them a whole new enrichment. You can see their minds working, exploring. I can't wait until you get fish inside of here.
Yep.
I mean, it's just going to take it to that next level, even beyond what we currently have.
Yep, and that's the plan, to put some fish in there so there's more enrichment for them.
Yep. I love it. So we talked a little bit yesterday about the skimmer, so that's that recirculation. That's going to give us the desired water quality. So that's really giving you the good oxygen. I mean, you could already see the water cleared up in less than 12 hours. I think the beach turned out incredible. You know, I love the look from down below.
I love
just
the touch
kind
of the moss.
I love the moss. I'm a moss fanatic. Incredible addition to the ecosystem, and that stuff will grab hold and it'll start to take over and, you know, kind of spread naturally, which is really cool. And the beach worked out great from access. You know, you could just see sight lines are all working out. And then as we work our way up to the top, I mean, the waterfalls, look at all of that. You see how the water kind of comes down and kind of boils itself up and everything. That's an important part of the filtration process.
Okay.
So yesterday when I was talking to you about the biological filter up on top, that's going to break down all the little nitrogenous waste and all that stuff in the water that causes bad water quality. During that process, it sucks the oxygen out of the water. So we want to replenish that. And we basically, this technique is biomimicry. We modeled it right after natural lakes, rivers, and streams. You know, if you go up into the mountains, you're going to see exactly this. And ideally, you would even see foxes along the perimeter.
Yep.
But it's just creating that right environment for everything just to kind of take off and do its own thing. One of my favorite things is these incredible boulders that Nick picks out.
Yes.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
if it wasn't for the right stone, none of this would even be possible. You know what I mean? I love it.
And I love rocks. I have like a rock collection, so
that's awesome.
I'm all about the rocks.
That is fantastic.
And so are the foxes. Mala, we watched Mala pee on all of them. So that's the way foxes like claim, you know, their territories.
Yep.
So she went along peeing on all the rocks.
Yep.
This is mine, this is mine, this is mine.
This one right over here by the water pond, just look at all the different colors. The striations coming through, the different mineral bands going through there. It's an incredible focal point.
is.
You know, and you have that water just kind of carving its way through it. I couldn't be happier. I mean,
Neither could I.
yeah. So I'm so glad we found that pipe over by your house. It was
Yes.
kind of a last minute addition, but it works perfect.
Yes, and that's something that we picked up months ago, and we've been wanting to do something creative with it. So I'm so glad that you pointed it out.
They've been running through it already. It's doing its job, and it fits.